On our wedding day, my bridesmaid decided to test Carter with 3 simple questions before the ceremony. I thought he'd ace them easily. I never expected him to get the very first one wrong. What's Chloe's shoe size? Without a second thought, he blurted out, size 6. What's her favorite color? Blue. An awkward silence fell over the bridal suite. Everyone exchanged nervous glances. He was wrong on both. Then came the final question. What year did Chloe graduate from college? Everyone relaxed, thinking there was no way he could mess this up. After all, we were college sweethearts. 2013, Carter said confidently. I made her a custom pair of crystal heels as a graduation gift that year. I'm 100% sure. My gaze drifted to Haley, my maid of honor, who was wearing a dusty blue bridesmaid dress and sparkling crystal heels. She bit her lip, whispering to Carter in a small, tense voice, Chloe graduated in 2012. I was the one who graduated in 2013. In that split second, everything clicked. The last lingering doubt in my heart vanished. I let out a cold, quiet laugh, looked down at my phone, and texted my parents. Mom, Dad, get the car ready. I'm calling off the wedding. The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. My bad, I mixed up the years. It was 2012, Carter corrected himself coldly, acting as if it was no big deal. Haley quickly forced a smile to break the tension. Chloe, Carter's just been super stressed about the wedding planning lately. It's normal to get a little confused. Don't make a scene. All our friends and family are waiting downstairs. Instantly, the other bridesmaids chimed in, trying to appease me. Yeah, babe, it's your big day. Smile a little. You can punish him tonight. Don't let a silly mistake ruin the ceremony. I thought I was overreacting, but only I knew that Carter had changed. Years ago, if I so much as frowned, he would immediately panic, doing whatever it took, buying me gifts, telling stupid jokes just to make me smile. But now his eyes were glued to my best friend, and he couldn't seem to look away. Fine, let's go, I said. I didn't want to make things awkward for the guests who had flown in from across the country. I followed the itinerary and let Carter carry me out to the car. As he lifted me, he laughed and said, Have you been stress eating lately? You definitely feel heavier than 110 pounds. 110 pounds, that was Haley's weight. He had just bragged about it on her story yesterday. Have you been carrying someone who weighs 110 pounds lately? I asked casually. Carter stiffened. He quickly shook his head. Of course not. Don't be paranoid. Right then Haley jumped in, eager to clarify. Oh, actually, I'm 120 pounds now, so it's definitely not me. I looked down, hiding my scoff. Guilty people always scream the loudest. But I didn't call them out. I wanted to see how long they could keep up this pathetic show. Inside the cramped sports car, Haley insisted on squeezing in, sitting right between Carter and me. You don't mind, do you, Chloe? The other shuttle cars are totally full. Let's just squeeze. I didn't say a word the entire ride. Haley chattered away, looking far more excited than the actual bride, and Carter answered her every word. It made me feel like the third wheel at my own wedding. As we rounded a corner, Haley suddenly tapped Carter's shoulder. Carter, I'm dying for those honey lavender cupcakes from that bakery uptown. Sure, I'll grab some for you. With that, Carter spun the steering wheel, taking a sharp turn in the exact opposite direction of the wedding venue. My brows furrowed. Carter, stop. We don't have time. That bakery is 10 miles away. The ceremony starts in an hour. We're going to be late. He glared at me through the rearview mirror. It's on the way. Buying cupcakes takes 2 minutes. You're just being petty because of those trivia questions. I bit my lip so hard I tasted blood, clenching my fist to keep from crying. When he got my graduation year wrong and I stayed quiet, I was ruining the mood. But when Haley wanted cupcakes from across town, it was on the way. Fine. If he wasn't in a rush, neither was I. After all, I had no intention of marrying him anyway. My phone buzzed, a text from my parents. Sweetheart, the SUV is parked by the side entrance of the venue. We're ready when you are. I don't care for sweets, so I just stood near the bakery entrance watching them. The baker was incredibly friendly and offered Haley a sample of their new flavor. Haven't seen you and your boyfriend in a while. You guys look so fancy today, going to a gala? Haley blushed, pointing a manicured finger toward me. Oh, no, it's my best friend's wedding today. I'm her maid of honor. The baker's smile froze. He looked back and forth between the three of us, expression turning highly uncomfortable. Oh, my bad, he apologized awkwardly. You two come in for afternoon tea so often, I just assumed you were a couple. I didn't realize there was a third party. The third party he was referring to was, without a doubt, me. I waited for Carter to speak up and defend me, but he didn't. He didn't care at all. Instead, he bought every single flavor of cupcakes they had, walking out with 3 giant shopping bags. I made one passing comment. Don't waste food if you can't finish them. And just like that, Haley burst into tears. Chloe, I know this isn't about the cupcakes, she sobbed, sounding incredibly fragile. You're just mad because Carter spent money on me. I'm so sorry. She shakily pulled $200 bills from her purse and tried to force them into my hand. That was the final straw for Carter's patience. His jaw tightened, and he looked at me with pure disgust. Chloe, do you have any sense of the bigger picture? It's our wedding day and you're choosing now to throw a tantrum. Haley is your best friend. It's completely normal for me to buy her some treats. Normal? I looked at her. I wanted to laugh. The LV bag on her shoulder, the Cartier necklace she was wearing, the designer heels on her feet, Carter had bought every single one of them. Meanwhile, in our 7 years of dating, the most expensive gift I had ever received from him was an electric toothbrush. Even the outdated wedding dress I was wearing today was a cheap rental I paid for myself. I had never asked Carter for a single dime. I used to think that by not caring about his money, I would get his pure, unadulterated love. How naive. In the end, I got neither. Carter, don't blame Chloe, Haley pleaded, playing the saint. It's her first time being a bride, so she's probably just anxious. Please don't fight because of me. You know my parents got a messy divorce, and all I want is for you guys to be happy. I stared at Haley. In that moment, my heart felt like it was being stabbed by 1,000 needles. The year her parents divorced, she couldn't sleep for months. I was the one who stayed up with her, cooked for her, washed her clothes, and held her hand through her darkest times. I never expected her to stab me in the back like this. Yeah, whatever you say, I murmured. It took me a long time to pull myself out of my memories. By the time my vision cleared, the tears on my face had already dried. Back in the car, silence fell over us, but it didn't last long because Haley was thirsty again. Carter, these cupcakes are kind of dry. I really need an iced matcha latte. Her voice got quieter with every word, her eyes darting to my face to check my reaction, but my face was blank. Carter hesitated for a second. Haley, we are actually running really late. But he quickly pivoted. If you're thirsty, let's grab one fast. Just then, Carter's phone started ringing off the hook. Carter, where the hell are you? The guests are all seated. We're just waiting on you and Chloe. Carter ignored the calls, hit the gas, and sped toward the nearest Starbucks. When he and Haley came back to the car, there was a bright red mark on Carter's neck. Noticing my stare, panic flashed through his eyes, and he quickly covered it with his hand. Bugs around here are crazy. Haley blushed and nodded. Yeah, Chloe, the mosquitoes are so bad. You don't think it's something else, do you? I shook my head. Must be a really desperate female mosquito, biting people like a shameless animal. Their faces instantly turned pale. Excuse me, I need a cigarette, Carter muttered, stepping out of the car. A few yards away from the car, Carter looked incredibly anxious. He whispered to Haley, do you think she knows? Haley took the cigarette right out of his mouth and took a drag. No way. She loves you too much. Even if she suspects something, she'll forgive you. I know her. She's soft-hearted. Years ago, when I got dumped, she literally skipped her finals and flew 1,000 miles just to comfort me. I didn't want to hurt her either, but I fell for you. Her sweet words were too much for Carter, he blushed all the way down to his collar. I watched them through the tinted car window. Their silhouettes, stretched by the afternoon sun, looked so intimate. The two people I loved most in the world had hurt me the deepest. I had spent years catering to them. It was time to wake up. I looked down and called the HR director of my family's conglomerate, Vance Group. Hi, Audrey. You asked me what I wanted as a wedding gift, right? I want you to fire Haley effective immediately. Because she had failed multiple classes in college, Haley couldn't find a decent job after graduation. I practically begged my father to pull strings and get her into Vance Group. In just 3 years, she went from a receptionist to a junior project manager, her salary jumping from $40,000 to $150,000. I paved every single step of her career. But to protect her fragile ego, I kept my family's identity a secret, letting her believe she'd achieved it all on her own merit. Now it was time to take back what was mine. When Carter got back in the car, perhaps out of guilt, he handed me a cup of black coffee. I grabbed this while waiting for the matcha. I know you hate sweet drinks. I didn't take it. He shook the cup, getting annoyed. Take it. We don't have time for this. I ignored him. Are you seriously still throwing a fit over some cupcakes and matcha? She's your best friend. Are you even human, being this jealous of her? Carter was always so incredibly harsh with me. He would never dream of speaking to Haley like this. Chloe, I've been exhausted for weeks planning this wedding. Can you please grow up? Don't make me deal with your attitude on my wedding day. I nodded, swallowing my tears. Thank you. My voice was polite, cold, and distant, but it seemed to reassure Carter. He relaxed, turned on the radio, and laughed with Haley all the way to the venue. He didn't notice the black Maybach parked near the side entrance of the hotel. He should have recognized the license plate, it belonged to my family. But his eyes were only on Haley, who had just tripped on her dress. "Haley, are you okay?" Haley pouted, looking pitiful. "This bridesmaid dress is too long. I tripped." Carter shot me a glaring look. "This is your fault. Why did you have to pick such a long style?" He forgot that Haley was the one who insisted on this specific design. "She's hurt. I'll carry her to the bridal suite first. Find your own way up." Before I could answer, he swept Haley into his arms and walked straight toward the elevator. I gathered up my heavy train and slowly made my way to the bridal suite. I could have left right then, but if I was going to run, I had to take my makeup artist with me. I was the one paying her, after all. When I finally pushed the door open, the scene inside shocked me. The celebrity makeup artist I had booked 2 years in advance was currently being scolded by Carter like a child. She looked like she was on the verge of tears. "Perfect timing," Carter said, dumping a pile of cosmetics onto the vanity. "Haley said you gave the artist a different contract. You used the premium high-end products for yourself and left her with cheap knockoff brands." I stared at them, speechless. What kind of drama was this now? Haley wiped her eyes, fake apologizing. "I'm sorry, Chloe. I shouldn't have said anything. I didn't mean to steal your spotlight. I'll just go wash my face. I can go barefaced for the wedding." "Really?" I scoffed. I never told the artist to do that, and I would never do something so petty. But Carter didn't believe me. He thought I was just acting out. "Chloe, this reverse psychology is getting pathetic. Do you really think playing hard to get is going to make me beg for your forgiveness?" I shook my head. "I don't need you to beg. What is up with your attitude? Just because I got Haley some treats, you do this, you made her cry. You need to apologize to her right now." "Why should I apologize for something I didn't do?" Frustrated, Carter gripped my shoulders. His grip was so tight it bruised. "Chloe, I don't have time for your games. The ceremony starts in 30 minutes. Apologize now, or I'm calling off this wedding." I smiled for the first time today. A real smile spread across my face. Carter still thought he could threaten me. He had no idea I didn't care anymore. "Okay." My nonchalant response pissed him off even more. He was about to yell when Haley quickly stopped him. "Carter, please don't. It's your wedding day. It's all my fault. Go downstairs and greet the guests. I'll handle things here." Carter hesitated, then nodded before leaving. He gave me one last disappointed look. "Why can't you be more mature like Haley?" As soon as the door closed, I turned to my makeup artist and whispered a few words. She immediately started packing up her kit. Haley, thinking we were just moving to another room, waved her hand dismissively. "Whatever. I don't care. Let her get her makeup done first." The makeup artist just rolled her eyes at Haley's delusion. 30 minutes later, the grand ballroom was filled with music and laughter. The officiant gave a beautiful opening speech, then looked toward the grand entrance with excitement. "And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our beautiful bride." Under the spotlight, Carter nervously adjusted his bow tie. A bead of sweat rolled down his temple as he probably pictured our future together. 3, 2, 1. The heavy door swung open, but there was no one there. The officiant gasped, looking at Carter's back, and whispered, "Where? Where is the bride?" Carter spun around. The hallway was completely empty. In that moment, sheer panic set in. For 2 full seconds, Carter did nothing. He stood beneath the flower arch with his hand half raised, smiling at an empty doorway like if he smiled hard enough, I would magically appear. Then the whispers began. "Where is Chloe? Is this part of the ceremony?" Carter turned toward the officiant. "She's probably fixing her dress. Give her a minute." From the back seat of my parents' black Maybach, I watched through the makeup artist's phone. She had left one tiny camera tucked inside the bouquet stand before we walked out. Haley stood near the front row in her dusty blue dress, one hand pressed to her chest. She looked pale, but not guilty enough for my taste. One bridesmaid whispered, "She probably got emotional." Another laughed nervously. "Chloe wouldn't really leave." Carter called me. My phone lit up beside me. I declined. His face stiffened. Then he texted. "Stop being childish. Everyone is waiting." I turned the phone face down. Downstairs, Carter forced a laugh. "She's just throwing a little tantrum." My mother went very still. My father's hand tightened around the door handle. I gently touched his sleeve. "Not yet." Carter looked toward the hallway again. No bride. No footsteps. No soft-hearted Chloe rushing back because she felt guilty for making people uncomfortable. Then the ballroom screen turned black. A hush fell across the guests. Carter's head snapped up. My face appeared on the screen. Still in the wedding dress. Veil gone. Makeup clean. Hair untouched. No tears running down my face. I looked straight into the camera. Before anyone asks where the bride is, maybe the groom should explain why he remembered my maid of honor better than me. The entire ballroom froze. Haley took one step back. "Chloe," Carter muttered. "Don't do this." Too late. I had done far too little for 7 years. The first clip played. The bridal suite. My bridesmaid's voice. "What's Chloe's shoe size?" Carter, confident and casual. "Size 6. Then the screen showed Haley's shoebox from that morning. Size 6. "What's her favorite color?" "Blue." The camera cut to Haley laughing in her dusty blue dress. Then my message to the wedding planner appeared beside it. "Chloe's preferred floral tone, ivory and champagne. Please avoid blue as the main theme." The final question played. "What year did Chloe graduate from college?" Carter smiled in the recording. 2013, I made her a custom pair of crystal heels as a graduation gift that year. I'm 100% sure. Then came Haley's tiny voice. "Chloe graduated in 2012. I was the one who graduated in 2013. The camera zoomed in on Haley's feet. Crystal heels sparkling under the hem of her dress. My voice came from the screen, calm enough to cut. He remembered the gift. He only forgot which woman he gave it to. Someone gasped. Haley covered her mouth. "That's not fair. It was a mistake." The next clip answered for her. Carter carrying me to the car. "Have you been stress eating lately? You definitely feel heavier than 110 pounds. A screenshot of Haley's story flashed beside it. Carter's comment from the day before, "Still 110? Don't let those cupcakes ruin the number." Then my voice in the car. "Have you been carrying someone who weighs 110 pounds lately?" Haley, too quick, too nervous. "Oh, actually, I'm 120 pounds now, so it's definitely not me." The guests were no longer whispering softly. Phones came out. The screen changed again. Bakery footage. The baker smiled awkwardly at Carter and Haley. "You two come in for afternoon tea so often, I just assumed you were a couple. I didn't realize there was a third party." The third party. Me. In the ballroom, Carter's mother covered her face. Carter went red. "Turn it off." No one moved. The clip continued. Haley crying beside the bakery bags. Carter glaring at me. "Haley is your best friend. It's completely normal for me to buy her some treats." Next, the Starbucks parking lot. Haley coming back with matcha. Carter's red neck mark. His hand covering it. "Bugs around here are crazy." Then my voice, light and poisonous. "Must be a really desperate female mosquito, biting people like a shameless animal." A few guests made choking sounds. The screen cut to the hotel entrance. Haley tripping. Carter carrying her while I stood behind him with the dress train in my hands. "Find your own way up." My father inhaled sharply beside me. I kept my eyes on the screen. Then the bridal suite. Carter scolding the makeup artist. Haley wiping tears. "I'll just go wash my face. I can go barefaced for the wedding." Carter's hands on my shoulders. The fabric of my dress wrinkling under his grip. "Apologize now, or I'm calling off this wedding." On the screen, I smiled. "Okay." The ballroom was silent. My video returned. "You told me not to ruin the wedding." "I didn't. I removed the only fake part." The officiant slowly lowered the booklet in his hands. Carter finally moved. "Chloe, enough. Come back here and we'll talk privately." Privately. Men loved that word when public truth started bleeding. I leaned closer to the camera. "No. You had all day to speak for me in public. You chose Haley every time." Haley started crying. Soft, breathy, practiced. "Chloe, how could you humiliate me like this? I'm your best friend." Perfect timing. The screen changed to Advance Group staff profile. Haley. Junior project manager. Salary band. Promotion history. Then old emails appeared. "Please consider Haley for the receptionist opening. She struggled after graduation, but she's hardworking." "Don't mention I asked. Can we move Haley into the junior coordinator track? I'll cover the training gap personally. Please do not tell her my family is involved. She needs to feel she earned this." Haley's tears stopped. When Haley couldn't find a decent job, I begged my father to open a door for her. I hid my family name so she could walk through it with her head high. The profile updated across the screen. Receptionist. 40,000. Coordinator. Junior project manager. 150,000. I built the ladder you climbed. I just never expected you to use it to reach my fiancé. A video call window opened. Audrey appeared, expression neat and merciless. "Haley's employment at Vance Group has been terminated effective immediately." Her building access, company accounts, card privileges, and project authority have been revoked. Internal audit has begun reviewing expense claims, promotion records, and any misuse of company resources. Haley stumbled. No. Audrey, wait. Chloe, you can't. Audrey did not blink. Security has already been notified. The window closed. That was when Haley truly understood. Not the boyfriend. Not the cupcakes. The life she thought she had earned had just locked behind her. Carter looked at the screen, then at the guests. Chloe, this is insane. You're punishing her career because you're jealous? My father opened the ballroom side door. He walked in without raising his voice. The room shifted before he spoke. Some people recognized him immediately. Others recognized the silence around him. My mother followed, chin high, eyes cold enough to freeze every flower in the hall. Carter's father stood so fast his chair scraped. Mr. Vance? Carter turned slowly. His face drained. My father looked at him like a contract he had decided not to sign. My daughter was ready to marry you. You were ready to use her. Carter swallowed. Sir, I didn't know. My voice cut through the speakers. That is the problem, Carter. You knew everything about Haley and almost nothing about the woman in the wedding dress. The black Maybach. Audrey. Vance Group. The venue discount he thought was luck. The guest list filled with people he had bragged about meeting through wedding networking. One by one, he saw the bridges burning. My mother faced the guests. We came prepared to walk our daughter down the aisle. Then she looked at Carter. We are even prouder to drive her away from it. The room erupted. Carter finally snapped. This is Haley's fault. Haley turned on him so fast her earrings swung. My fault? You kept crying. You kept asking for things. I was trying to help. You bought me those gifts because you wanted to. You chased me. You carried me in front of your bride. Guests gasped. Several phones rose higher. Haley's face twisted. You told me Chloe was boring. You said she didn't understand you. You said after the wedding, once things settled, you'd figure out how to leave without looking like the bad guy. Carter's eyes widened. Shut up. No, you shut up. You said I was the one who really made you feel alive. Funny how fast soulmates become witnesses for the prosecution when the money leaves the room. Carter looked around, desperate. She's lying. Haley laughed through tears. Now I'm lying? You remembered my graduation year at your own wedding, Carter. That one landed beautifully. The officiant turned toward my father with helpless dignity. Should the ceremony continue? I answered before anyone else could. There is no wedding. The words settled over the ballroom. Clean. Final. Carter took 2 steps toward the exit. I'm going to find her. My father's security stepped in front of him. My father did not raise his voice. You will not chase my daughter today. You had 7 years to walk beside her. Carter stopped. For the first time, he looked truly afraid. My face returned to the screen one last time. My family's money was never your wedding gift. And after today, neither is my silence. Then the screen went black. The ballroom lights brightened. There stood Carter beneath the flower arch, groom without a bride, future without a door. Thank you for listening to Channel Best Novel. Haley stood a few feet away in dusty blue and crystal heels, no longer maid of honor, no longer tragic best friend, no longer anything except the woman everyone was recording. Guests began leaving. Some took envelopes from the gift table. Some deleted congratulations posts in real time. One aunt muttered that even the cake looked ashamed. The cake was the only thing in the room that had not lied to me. Inside the Maybach, I finally exhaled. My mother pulled me into her arms before I could pretend I was fine. I did not sob loudly. I had used up loudness surviving the day. I just leaned against her shoulder while the city lights blurred outside the window. My father sat across from me, silent and furious. After a while, he reached out and touched the edge of my veil. Sweetheart, I was ready to walk you down the aisle. I'm even prouder to drive you away from it. That broke something open. The makeup artist quietly passed me tissues. For what it's worth, you were the calmest runaway bride I've ever worked with. I laughed through tears. It sounded ugly and free. My phone vibrated until the screen looked like it was trembling by itself. Carter. 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 Haley. Unknown numbers. Bridesmaids. Carter again. I turned it off. For 7 years, I thought silence meant losing. That night, silence felt like locking a door. The wedding dress went back the next morning. I carried it into the rental boutique myself. The staff recognized me from the viral clips but had the mercy not to stare too hard. My mother waited in the car, but I wanted to return it alone. Not because I was brave. Because I needed to hold the thing I almost married him in and give it back with my own hands. The clerk accepted the bag. Do you want the deposit returned to the original card? Yes. A tiny ordinary victory. Outside, Carter was waiting. He looked like he had not slept. His suit was wrinkled. His hair, always so carefully styled, fell across his forehead. Chloe. I kept walking. He stepped in front of me. Please. Just 5 minutes. You took 7 years. I think that was enough. His face twisted. I made one mistake. No, Carter. A mistake is forgetting the ring. You remembered another woman's whole life. He flinched. I was stressed. Haley confused me. She kept needing me, and you liked being needed by someone who didn't know all your ordinary parts. That's not fair. Neither was making me ride to my own wedding like a third wheel. His eyes reddened. I still love you. No. You loved that I was loyal enough to forgive what you were not brave enough to admit. He reached for my hand. I stepped back. His fingers closed on air. We can still have a private ceremony. No guests. No drama. Just us. There is no us. Chloe, 7 years. I didn't throw 7 years away. I buried the version of me who thought being chosen mattered more than being respected. He stared at me like he did not recognize the woman in front of him. Good. She had been gone since the ballroom doors opened. Then Haley appeared from the corner of the street. Of course she did. No makeup. Sunglasses in her hair. Phone clutched in one hand like a weapon that had run out of bullets. Chloe, please. Carter turned. Why are you here? Haley ignored him. You know I needed that job. I know. That's why I gave it to you. That's also why taking it back hurt less than watching you take my fiancé. Her lips trembled. I worked hard. You did. Then you worked harder at betraying me. It was one mistake. No. You made a routine. I only finally saw the schedule. She cried then. Real tears, maybe. Too late to matter. You were my best friend. That is why you knew exactly where to stab. Carter snapped. Stop acting innocent, Haley. You told me she'd forgive us. You said she loved us too much. Haley spun toward him. Because you said you would choose me. I never said that. You bought me the necklace. The shoes. The bag. You asked for them. You liked being the man who gave them to me. People on the sidewalk slowed. Phones came out again. Carter noticed and lowered his voice. You're ruining both of us. Haley laughed bitterly. Both of us? I lost my job because of you. You lost your job because you turned my wedding day into your affair. Her face went white. The slap never came. Not from me. Not from her. The humiliation was cleaner without it. I walked past them. Carter called after me. Are you really going to ruin me over one day? I turned back once. No. I'm letting one day reveal what 7 years hid. Then I got into my mother's car. Behind the tinted window, I watched Carter and Haley still arguing on the sidewalk. Yesterday, their silhouettes in the sun had looked intimate. Today, under morning traffic and strangers' cameras, they looked cheap. The aftermath did not arrive like thunder. It arrived like doors closing. Haley went to Vance Group on Monday morning. Her badge flashed red at the turnstile. Security escorted her to a side office where Audrey waited with a folder and a witness from compliance. Her desk had already been cleared. Her company laptop was locked. Her work email bounced. Her project chat removed her before she finished typing a goodbye. The audit found personal purchases hidden under client hospitality. Small things at first. Lunches, rides, hotel lounges. Then bigger ones. A team event that looked a lot like an afternoon tea date with Carter. Audrey sent one official notice. Vance Group will pursue repayment where required. No future reference will be issued. Haley called me 17 times. I answered on the 18th because I wanted to hear whether she had found honesty yet. She had not. Chloe, everyone is treating me like I'm some homewrecker. You wore the costume well. I can't get another job if Vance blacklists me. I did not blacklist you. Your own audit did. You know I'm not good under pressure. You know I panic. You know my parents, I close my eyes. For a second, I remembered a younger Haley crying in a dorm room, hair unwashed, voice broken because her family was falling apart. I remembered booking a flight. Missing my final exam. Holding her while she slept. That memory hurt. But it no longer owned me. I was kind to your pain. You used mine as cover. She sobbed. Can we please meet? No. You're really cutting me off? You did that first. You just did it while smiling at me. I ended the call. Her social media collapsed next. The comments were merciless. Maid of honor, crystal heels, cupcakes, groom stealing, and one lost $150K job all became public jokes. Haley deleted photos. People reposted them anyway. The dusty blue dress became a joke. The crystal heels became a meme. The honey lavender cupcakes sold out at the bakery for a week because people kept posting reviews that said, tastes like betrayal. The baker apologized to me publicly. I accepted. He was the only person that day who had told the truth by accident. Carter's fall was slower, because men like him always think falling is something that happens to other people. His family called my father first. Not to apologize. To ask if the Vance connection was truly gone. My father hung up. A pending investment discussion between Carter's company and one of our subsidiaries disappeared from the calendar. Nobody announced anything. It simply stopped existing. Friends stopped inviting him. Wedding guests returned gifts. His parents avoided social events because every conversation began with, "How is Carter holding up?" He sent flowers to my parents' home. Returned. He sent a handwritten letter. Returned unopened. He sent an email with the subject line, "Please let me explain." I replied once. There is nothing to explain. You remembered her shoe size, color, weight, graduation year, coffee order, cupcake craving, and how she looked when she tripped. You forgot me while I was standing beside you. That is the explanation. He replied within 1 minute. I was blind. I did not answer. He wrote again. I love you. I blocked him. 2 weeks later, I attended a Vance Group Women's Leadership Charity event in a white suit. Not a gown. Not a veil. No train dragging behind me. The suit fit perfectly because this time, I had chosen it for myself. My mother adjusted my lapel before I walked onto the stage. Nervous? A little. Good. Means you still care. I looked at her. Was I stupid? Her face softened. No. You were trusting. That sounds kinder. It is also true. The ballroom was different from the wedding hotel. Brighter. Warmer. Filled with women building companies, funding scholarships, starting over after marriages, families, failures, and betrayals. When I stepped onto the stage, applause rose. For a strange second, my body expected an aisle. Then I remembered. This stage led nowhere except forward. I used to think love meant being chosen at the altar, I began. Then I learned the strongest vow I ever made was the one I made to myself when I walked away before saying yes. The room went quiet. Listening. I am not here to talk about revenge. A few people laughed softly. All right. Maybe a little. That got a real laugh. But mostly, I am here to talk about the cost of ignoring yourself. I ignored small things because I wanted to be easy to love. Wrong answers. Delayed plans. Gifts that went to someone else. Public disrespect dressed up as stress. I saw women nodding. I thought leaving would make me look abandoned. Instead, it showed me who had been abandoning me all along. By the time I finished, my hands were steady. After the event, I found Carter and Haley near the side entrance. Security had stopped them before they could enter the hall. They looked terrible together. Not tragic. Not romantic. Just leftover. Carter stepped forward first. Chloe, please. 7 years. You can't erase 7 years with one speech. I didn't erase them. His eyes lit with hope. I almost felt sorry for him. Almost. I archived them under lessons I paid too much for. Haley's mouth twisted. You act so powerful now. No. I act like someone who stopped lending power to people who spent it badly. Carter took a breath. I know I hurt you. But we were real once. Yes. And then you traded real for easy. I was confused. You were comfortable. Haley wiped under her eyes. You were my best friend. That is why you knew exactly where to stab. Her face crumpled. Chloe, I lost everything. No. You lost what I gave you. Carter's voice broke. What do you want from me? Nothing. He looked stunned. That was the part men like Carter never understood. Hate still tied people together. Revenge still required looking back. But nothing was a door closing without a slam. I want nothing from you. Not apology. Not explanation. Not regret. Not love. Then why did you expose us? Because silence would have let you call me crazy. He had no answer. Haley whispered, Are you happy now? I looked at them standing side by side, miserable and still somehow blaming each other with every breath. I'm peaceful. That was worse for them. Peace meant they were no longer central. My father's car arrived at the curb. I walked toward it. Carter called after me one last time. Chloe. I paused. I would have married you. I turned. There he was. The man who thought that was still a gift. I know. That was the problem. His face collapsed. I got into the car. That night, photos from the event went online. Me in white, standing under the Vance Group banner. My mother beside me. My father clapping in the front row with red eyes he would deny until death. Someone clipped my speech. Someone else paired it with footage of the empty wedding aisle. By midnight, the old wedding hashtag had changed from Carter and Chloe forever to Chloe chose Chloe. I should have hated that. I did not. Haley saw the posts from whatever small apartment she had moved into after losing her company privileges. Carter saw them too. I knew because mutual friends loved sending me screenshots of their silent views. I did not open them. For the first time in 7 years, I did not need to know what Carter was thinking. The next morning, I woke up late, made myself coffee, and wore the pearl earrings my mother had given me the night before. Not crystal heels. Not dusty blue. Not anything chosen because someone else loved it. Just me. Carter waited at the altar for a bride who no longer existed. The woman who left that hotel was not his almost wife. She was the woman he should have been afraid to lose.